Hello, let me tell you about the installation and operation of EG-302. The length has become shorter and the weight has become lighter. It's about 2 pounds less than 1 kilogram. The regulator has been upgraded compared to the previous product. It uses a dual gauge and is a dual stage regulator. Don't forget to install it vertically. Now let's apply power. I haven't put any pressure on it yet. Do not fill the cylinder with water. Also, use as clean water as possible. Now the low water level warning is popping up and I'm hearing an alarm. I will fill the cylinder with water. The alarms are turned off. Now the setting is 0. So the low pressure alarm does not appear. But if the pressure is less than 10 psi for 15 seconds after setting the CO2 supply, the low pressure alarm pops up and an alarm sounds. Regulator pressure control is much easier than the previous version. Now the system error alarm has disappeared. Using valve positioning memory technology, there will be no more panic like previous products. You are now ready to use. First, let's go into settings and make basic settings. Turn the dial to go to settings emoticons and press the dial. You have now entered the settings page. This page includes Wi-Fi setting, time, pH setting, display frequency, and pressure reset. Because the explanation of Wi-Fi and the app is too long, I will make a separate video showing how to pair the mobile phone and use the app. First, to set the time, press the dial to the time, move it, press it again, and turn the dial to set it. pH settings include measurement frequency and calibration. The measurement frequency can be set to 1 second, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and 15 seconds. Calibration. You can do 3-point calibration of 4, 7, and 10. You can use it by calibrating only 2 of them. Let's calibrate pH 4 first. Insert the probe into the pH 4 standard solution. Then, the current pH is displayed, and if the pH is stabilized, it becomes stable. Appears, and after stand A's appears, then press button is activated, and at this time, when you press the button, complete appears, and the pH 4 calibration has been completed. Next, clean the probe with distilled water and complete the calibration of 7 or pH 10 in the same way as for pH 4. The pH calibration is complete. Then turn the dial and press back. Now let's try the display. The display settings are: this is a setting that turns the display on and turns it off after a certain period of time. First, let's set it to 15 seconds. Then the display turned off. The function is operating normally. If you press the button now, the display will turn on again and you can configure it. Then, after 15 seconds, it will turn off again. If you set it to always, the display will be on for 24 hours. Pressure reset is a menu that is rarely used, but if something like a system crash occurs and the pressure value is not measured properly, it is a menu that sets the supply pressure to 0 and then sets 0 psi. This product comes with 2 plug nipples, so you can use the regulator and main unit separately in this way. Using the T-plug, you can connect up to 10 units from one gas tank. You can also control up to 10 units with one application. Now we will show you each of the operating modes. Manual mode is a mode that manually adjusts the supply amount of CO2. By pressing the CO2 set at the bottom, you can adjust the CO2 supply amount from 0.1 to 30 ccm. ccm is the same standard as SCCM. We will show you the speed at which CO2 supply reaches the target value. The setting value is 0.5 cc and the target value is 98%. Watch it at 50x speed. The time to reach the target is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I will watch for about 30 minutes. Next is 1 cc. The time to reach the target is 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll keep watching for about 30 minutes. It's at 50x speed. Next is 1.5 cc. The time to reach the target is 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Next is 2 cc. The time to reach the target is 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Lastly, let's cut off the supply. It took 3 minutes and 20 seconds to completely cut off the supply. Accuracy of 98% was achieved for all supply settings. I will explain pH mode. The screen composition looks a bit complicated, but it's not that complicated. Let's go to settings in the bottom right and press the dial. This screen has CO2 on, CO2 off, and CO2 set. CO2 on indicates the pH value at which CO2 will begin to be supplied. CO2 off indicates the pH value at which CO2 supply will be stopped. CO2 set is the CO2 supply amount when supply is activated. Once the settings are complete, press the back button to start operating. And the button at the bottom left sets the time for the pH mode to be activated. It will be mainly used by plant tank users. Press this part with the dial to activate, and you can set disable first. If disable is selected, pH mode will work 24 hours a day. If enable is selected, you can enter the start time and end time. Lastly, there's timer mode. There are a lot of numbers, but it's a simple interface. This is a mode that most aquatic plant tank users will use. It is not simply on-off control in conjunction with the time the light is turned on. You can create a fantastic CO2 graph by setting the supply amount differently for each hour. The CO2 requirement in an aquatic plant tank increases significantly when photosynthesis begins. However, because CO2 accumulates in the afternoon, it can cause breathing problems in creatures such as fish. Can. This concludes the description of each mode. Lastly, EG-302 remembers previous modes, settings, and current time even when the power is turned off and on. Therefore, you can use EG-302 in manual mode and directly connect it to devices such as a timer or pH controller. You can also configure a double safety system with external devices while using it in timer mode or pH mode. Thank you for watching. The next video will show you how to use the application.